Gliding with ancient grace, eyes gleaming, untouched by love or joy or sorrow. Breath hot with the taste of fallen foes, the stench of dead things, damned things. Surely the fiercest survivor of the purest warrior, glaring, hating, claiming me as your own. Hello everybody and welcome to our Comic Corner. We are here discussing Batman The Dark Knight Returns. I am Mike here with Johnny.
Hey.
And yeah, we were talking about 1986's Dark Knight Returns, the 4-part miniseries, written and penciled by Frank Miller.
Inked by Klaus Janson.
Exactly. Yeah. Can't take all the credit,
No.
but yeah. For those of you who joined us last week, this was Johnny's pick, his birthday boy pick of the week for what we'd be talking about this week. So I think we probably know where Johnny stands.
It's the best Batman story ever written, and I'll show you why.
It's like, yeah, thank you for coming on. Yeah,
What did
no,
you think of?
I definitely it's not the cult, but you know what? It is very, very, very close.
Without this, you wouldn't have the cult.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. We've discussed that because I believe it was 87 for the cult.
I thought it was 88. Maybe
yeah,
it is 87.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
It was
It's
a year or
after
two
86.
afterward and obviously heavily influenced by it. But yeah, like Johnny said, like we wouldn't have a lot of current Batman, either mythos or just kind of the way we view Batman.
No.
Batman versus Superman, the movie, definitely would have happened without this.
Yeah. I also mentioned this recently on the chat, but Tim Burton literally carried a trade paperback of this around with him on the set of Batman 1989 because he wanted it to be so influenced by this.
Yeah.
So, even though the story isn't like the vibe and the feeling, I
Yeah,
think is what he was going for.
This is definitely like along with the year one is definitely cited as like seminal Batman comics that had changed the mood from like the campy Batman to like a lot more dark and gritty, the Batman that we usually see these days. So it came a long way, and here we are, back at the start.
Probably wouldn't have Batman the Animated Series without this.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you like Batman the Animated Series?
Yeah, it was quite. I mean, everybody grew up watching that, right? Well,
if you're in our age group,
exactly,
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's classic. I was gonna say I feel like you probably wouldn't have Batman Beyond 2 without that, because I feel like just the idea of like an older Bruce Wayne is always.
Batman Beyond is so freaking good. That doesn't get enough credit, and I'm sure it gets a lot of credit. I'm saying it deserves even more.
It's more of like a cult hit. Like the people who like it definitely really like it. But
Terry McGinnis, dog. Wait, didn't I bring up that it's on Blu-ray? Yeah.
We talked about that. I believe it was Vic had mentioned that they were a fan. When you said Terry McGinnis, that just went over my head the first time you mentioned it. I'm like, oh. You're like, that's the dude.
That's him, dog.
It's Mr. Batman.
So, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, let's get into it. We probably just dive right into it.
Well, I was gonna say, I really
like Batman, they're just diving through the lightning.
Yeah, I love this.
Iconic image. Yeah.
This is the cover of issue 1. This is an iconic image. Wait, what are you gonna give this out of 10?
Probably 9 out of 10. Like it is definitely up there. Like
the
art. I mean, so with the art with Frank,
I can
Miller,
understand.
I feel like it could kind of be hit or miss sometimes. Like he's definitely got a style, and it's.
How Sin City is this?
Yeah.
For real.
I'm a fan of it. Yeah, like he does good with the tone of everything.
You almost wonder if the noir version of this would be cool because it's Frank Miller. I never thought of that. There is a noir version.
Yeah.
Do you know what for those who don't know, they have DC does some because DC loves reprinting their own shit. They reprint a lot of their famous stories in black and white, and it's the noir versions. There's like a Killing Joke one. Is there a V for Vendetta one or a Watchmen one?
I was gonna say, I believe that there's Watchmen. Yeah, so it's a lot of like the mainline stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, they call it the noir version, where it is, as the story normally would be, but sans color. So it's basically just like the inking is the final pass.
Which generally I wouldn't like, but with Frank Miller it might work because of
definitely
that.
Seems to write it or draw it in that style first. So
I will say that I get what you mean about the art. To me, for me, I'm not saying it has to be for anybody else, but for me, this story is so damn good that I love the art works with it. But if the story was any less, I probably would hate the artwork. If that makes sense.
No,
I just buy into it because I think the story is that good.
Yeah. He definitely has a great way of writing, like the 80s era. Urban environments where it's just like overrun by punks and degenerates and all that fun stuff, and yeah, he does back it up with great visuals too. It's just sometimes like, especially with faces, like sometimes it might be drawn in a slightly strange way, but like he's got like a distinct style that's almost kind of freeform at times, but yeah, no, it works.
What do you think of Carrie Kelly, female Robin?
I like her. So I initially read Dark Knight Returns like back in high school, as with most of the like iconic books. But yeah, it was definitely a change, and it worked too. I'd forgotten that she was like 13 when they mentioned it in the books. like that. You know, he's basically captured a 13-year-old, which I forget at times that she is like supposed to be that young portrayed. But she's an interesting character. She's got her own like, we see bits of her life going on in that. Yeah, let's keep that I read that on the back of every book. But yeah, no, she's an interesting character and an interesting take on Robin. Not the first female though. I want to say there was another character. I forget offhand, but
You know, did we sell that one that we had? Oh my god, I feel like we did.
which one?
The diorama of the Dark Knight Returns
With
him and Robin.
yeah.
I don't think that's over there anymore.
Somebody might have shuffled it to the front.
Man, it was cool. I really did carry Kelly Robin. My
Yeah.
favorite Robin that's not Dick Grayson, but Dick Grayson's pretty fucking cool. Whoops. Busted it early.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dick Grayson, you're welcome. Thank you.
It's a shame he's not here.
Spirit he might be.
Yeah.
Where's Charlie, man? I'm worried.
Wait, isn't there sports going on?
Yeah, but the Cubs are doing something before I... Whatever.
Sure. Yeah, speaking of
So,
something,
iconic
what's
cover.
that up to? Yeah.
Yeah, so, Dark Knight Returns, Part 1. Book 1.
Chapter
Yo,
1.
yeah, actually, I remember the first time reading it, not really understanding what the hell was going on here.
Yeah, like that's again.
The,
like,
the animated movie really helped this opening scene.
Yeah,
make a lot more sense.
he has. Speaking of kind of like iconic style, like the talking heads on the TV, like news broadcasts, I definitely associate most with Dark Knight Returns, and that's why like when we see it in the Cult, it is very much that style. Like here is the like TV screen, like circled square, rounded edges to like indicate like, hey, we're watching this newscast. Here's the talking heads giving you the info of what's happening in the city and day to day, and it's a cool look. But I mean, yeah, sometimes the jumping around might be a little disorienting. But yeah, especially this one because it's, you know, spoilers. It's our boy Bruce Wayne like racing in some like, you know, stock car stuff and crashing.
Yeah, and basically what I take away from that is that he's like seeking a thrill, like he's so this story, as we find out here in the text, is it's 10 years after the last sighting of the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So this takes place like in the future, and Batman's an old man, or Bruce Wayne is an old man. He has not been Batman for 10 years. It's heavily implied. What's up?
I believe he's 55 in this.
Yes, he is.
And his actual age, but yeah.
And it's implied that he stopped being Batman because of the events of a death in the family. So if you know that, spoilers from Batman, that's when the Joker kills Jason Todd Robin, which is alluded to a few times in here. And like, I always took it as like that's what stopped him being Batman.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we have a 55-year-old Bruce Wayne who has not been Batman for 10 years. And we start to find out that crime has been rampant in Gotham again. It's gotten worse. It's basically
always.
Yeah. So that's basically what we're being told on there, and that Commissioner Gordon is retiring next month, or when is it?
Within like it's like by the end of the month he'll retire. But he makes one final claim that like his last act as commissioner will be to help clean up the Mutants, which is a local gang that's running amok, basically trying to seize control of the city through like violent means, as they ever want to do. Yeah,
in a gang created just for the story, so I like that. At first, I was weirded out by it the first time I read it, but you eventually learn to dig it.
Mm-hmm.
So we see Bruce and Gordon having a conversation just about, you know, retiring and hanging up the boots. Bruce heads home. Along the way, he gets stopped by mutants. This is the first introduction to their crazy lingo. They have their own. And like, first time reading this, I was like, what the hell are they saying?
But it's not even necessarily theirs, because Carrie like dips into it too. It's just
she does,
like,
yeah. It's the slang
like
of the
youths of this time.
Yes, that's more, yeah. But slice and dice and chicken legs, licking legs.
Potatoes.
Man, I really like the gray tones of these few pages. It's so sweet. I mean, it's very bleak.
What if there was no colors on there?
I don't know. It might be awesome. So, you know, these two guys are going to rough up Bruce Wayne, and he basically, like, gets off on it. He's like, okay, come on, do something. Because, you know, he wants that thrill. He hasn't been Batman 10 years. These two guys, and he's huge, and, like, that's the thing with it. Frank Miller makes Batman large.
Batman is best Batman.
Large, man. He's a big man, and, like, everybody sees he's a big man.
Exactly.
So,
Got
they're
that
about
big
to.
and tall suit on.
Yeah,
Custom
exactly.
tailored, yeah.
Yeah, dude. And they got these knives, and he's like, they still end up being like, nah,
Yeah.
we're not gonna mess with this
They
guy
draw their
because
weapons,
he's.
But they see that he's not backing down. He's not relenting, and they're like, "Oh crap! Maybe yeah, this isn't fun if they're into it. Like we should definitely back off, go to the arcade, do something better with our time than like trying to pick a fight with this dude." So.
And then there's like the. I don't know what word you would use, but like it's supposed to get hot, like the heat is rising, like
Yeah,
the
like,
tension, like the temperature is like an analogy for the
Yeah, they use
like,
they use
what's
it as
going
like
on.
a metaphor. Yeah,
Metaphor, thank
yeah,
you.
Like the heat wave in the city is also directly impacting. They say like a lot of the crime wave that's been happening. They're like, well, like, it's hot outside. People are outside more. They're getting agitated. There's no end in sight of the heat. So people are just kind of losing their minds a bit and causing a lot of chaos throughout Gotham.
And then we cut over to this it's Arkham, but it's the intensive treatment ward,
Exactly.
where we see somebody getting rehabbed, and it turns out to be Harvey Dent, who's gone through a series of plastic surgeries to get his face like fixed, so he's no longer Two-Face, and he's got a lot of like mental treatment so that he's like his mental scars can heal just like his physical ones. And so we're gonna get introduced to like the real Harvey Dent, and like there he is, Lex Luthor looking ass, man.
Yeah, I do like his clean cut.
Yeah, and he's basically like asking everybody in Gotham to forgive him for all the horrible crimes he did, blah blah blah. And then like Bruce Wayne is like, he's sponsored like all the surgery and stuff, and he's watching this telecast, and then like you find out that it was a later broadcast, and like after he like thanked everybody, he just went missing.
Yeah.
And people were worried that he like
was relapsing or
like right
back
away.
into crime.
And we get this little like memory of Bruce and like him sleeping and the bat going over the moon, and it's he falls into the pit and there's a bat and boom boom
that.
boom. We've all seen it. And then it cuts back to him as an old man, except he's downstairs in the bat cave naked, like he was sleepwalking. And Alfred comes up on him, who's like elderly as hell now.
Yeah, exactly.
And he notices that Bruce shaved his mustache, and there you got, Jason Todd's Robin outfit
exactly.
just hanging out there.
Mournfully patrolling the back end, but also I like how like non affected by it Alfred is, as if this is like a commonplace occurrence of just there's naked Bruce just wandering around the Batcave.
Bruce Wayne.
Exactly. Not the first appearance. Maybe
No.
one day we'll read that.
Maybe we will.
But yeah, like so we see like how kind of broken Bruce is, especially like you said after the death of Robin. He's harboring it inside, and he's just kind of left to wander his empty mansion. So.
And then it cuts back to a couple gangbangers playing poker and basically talking about Harvey Dent and then who should show up in the background.
What's this scarred coin doing in the middle of our poker pot?
Yeah, and there he is in his little hush wrappings. That's what it kind of reminds me of.
I like the hush look.
Yeah, cuts back to Bruce Wayne having more flashbacks about the Zorro stuff, because while I was watching the TV, man, just saying how horrible things are out there. So he's having the flashback.
Yeah, because Zorro comes on. He's like, I probably shouldn't watch. He's like, it's just a movie. I can't let that, a movie traumatize me this much. And then, oops, guess it did.
This is really awesome, man. I love this
like
so much. It's very cinematic.
Yeah, we do get the retelling of, the origin story of Batman, death of his parents.
Which this was written before year one, but still written by Frank Miller. So he definitely went back and revamped that. So basically, he's having this flashback here, and then he wakes back up in his mansion, and a bat comes flying in through his window. How symbolic.
Always, yeah.
We got some lightning crashing, and oh man, this is where it just right away, man. We're not even look out, we're barely into this book. It just starts to get badass right here, man. We see some like crime taking place throughout the city, right? And it's about to rain, man. Storm's coming.
Metaphorically?
Metaphorically, man. This dude's about to like kill and maybe rape this lady, and boom, out of nowhere, something comes crashing through a window behind him and
grabs him by the face and drags him into the doorway.
Like, what the hell happened?
I don't know.
Then there's
Now
this
lightning, and now what's going on?
and there's this cabbie and some guy. Oh wait.
Yeah, like it's a pimp and one of his prostitutes that are like arguing over payment. He's like like beating her up in the back of it, but he forces the taxi driver to go. He pays him off with money, and as they're just kind of driving around the city, there's a thud on the roof.
And then something comes crashing in, looks like a boot. You're like, what's that though? What could it be? Batman hasn't been around in 10 years. There's lightning. What's going on? Cracks down on this dude's hand. I love this dude. He makes the cabbie hand over the money,
Exactly,
tears it up into shreds because cabbie was going to take it, dude.
Not today.
You're like, man, what's going on here? Like, and then, I love this, dude. This is the best book ever, dude. What other book is it this cinematic from 1986?
None.
Dude, it cuts to this these couple of kids. There's Carrie Kelly and her friend Michelle, and they're cutting through the arcade, and they get stopped by some of these mutants. You know, chicken legs, licking legs, man. They do. You know, more with the lingo, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And so they're about to get, I don't know, stopped by these creepy mutants.
Good, yeah.
Then out of nowhere, what's that? Some like something in the rain and
Are those batteries?
maybe I look like claws, dude. Oh man. And all of a sudden, these mutants aren't there to do this. Then we cut back to the talking heads. And they're getting all these reports of this Dracula-like creature stopping things in Gotham, stopping bad things from happening. And everybody's like, man, this is very reminiscent.
No. It's been 10 years, Johnny.
Yeah, and then we cut to this chase scene where these two cops are chasing after something.
A rookie cop and a veteran cop.
I'm telling you, man, when I read this for the first time and I got to this point, I turned this page, this next page, man, it did it for me. I was like, this is the best book ever. So, yeah, rookie cop and old cop going down. Man, it seems like the Batman might be back. Boom! Oh, man! Look at that splash page. Dude, that's one of my favorite.
Swooping in.
Dude, the
I was
colors.
gonna say, how do you feel about the gray and blue? That's always a good look, I think.
I do like, you know, much like Wolverine's brown costume, I think it's a better look than...
Yeah, because usually when people think Batman, they obviously think like the all black or gray and black. But yeah, I always thought there was something to the gray and blue and yellow.
Michael Keaton's is cool,
Yeah.
but this, man.
There it is.
Oh, and just look at how epic this is, dude. He lands on... Oh, man, he stops the car that the police were
Looking good for
chasing.
55 also, by the way.
Oh, yeah, dude. And the beautiful thing about reading this book, especially compared to the animated movie, which I really like, but you get the internal dialogue of Bruce Wayne throughout all of it, and it's just... It'd be too much for us to go over, like, every, like, thing he says, but, man, it adds so much depth to the story to see what he's thinking and feeling as he's going through this, as he's, like,
when
reliving.
we read Year One, and then also they repeat it in the Cult. Like, they always have like his internal dialogue, which is very like noir and detective comic-esque, which is obviously, you know, it's what he was born of. Just kind of giving you the breakdown of what he's feeling, and then especially like during the fight scenes, like he's very like self-deprecating and critical of his own actions, because he's aware of the fact that, you know, like, he's been out of the game for 10 years. He's
He's
much
old
older.
enough to need legs to climb rope.
Exactly, yeah. Like he's trying to like repeat these actions that he used to do, but like he's doing it at a slower pace, or it's more taxing on him, and just kind of seeing him, you know, like call himself a lucky old man, like when things like just barely go his way. So.
Which in Year One he calls himself a lucky amateur. I love that, Frank Miller, you beautiful man, before you went insane. Also, okay, we were skimming through a copy of The Dark Knight Strikes Again earlier, which is the sequel to this, which I've heard is so bad, I've never even looked into it. I've never even skimmed through it until earlier, and boy, does it look like dog crap.
Yeah, like I feel like later Frank Miller stuff, like he kind of lost the edge a little.
I mean, if you think this artwork, although, man, the first issue of this, it feels like there's a slightly different tone.
Yeah, I mean,
I
like,
think-
well, it definitely does kind of get a little like not.
It almost gets
comical,
sloppier.
but, yeah, that too. But in terms of like the writing and the art, or
The art, I think,
Yeah.
gets a little sloppier as it goes on. Like,
Yeah.
this is real crisp. Like, this doesn't
that's
look...
true, yeah.
Like, even this is a very different look than, like, we get later on.
Some of the detail does kind of fall out, but
Yeah.
or like I said, it feels like a little bit more freestyle, just kind of like like moving quickly. But
Yeah, I don't know. It's just not... Like, see that?
yeah,
I don't know. It's different.
how dare it be different?
That's okay. Oh, man. So he stops these crooks. I mean, it's just badass, dude. He does all of his Batman stuff. He sneaks up on them. Look at this artwork.
He hunts them down
Frank
like one by
Miller
one,
gets
gets in
it,
their
dude.
heads. You know,
And I should have looked this up. I forgot to. I'm fairly certain that this is... Frank Miller coined the phrase The Dark Knight. I don't think he was referred to as The Dark
I
Knight
believe so,
before
yeah,
this.
that's like
And that actually wasn't even the original name to this book, the story. It was actually originally called Holy Terror. See, in his first draft for it,
Okay.
Holy Terror, and it's crossed out and Dark Knight above it. So, Frank Miller, man, better choice, Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So-
I think that works better.
So basically, he stops those crooks. That's what happens. Then it cuts back to cuts away from there to the psychiatric ward, or it's back at the Arkham, the rehab center, not Arkham Asylum.
Exactly.
And there's this older dude who
Very
has
pale looking.
yeah, pale looking with some faint green hair, and all of a sudden Batman's name is mentioned on the news, and his whole demeanor changes. I wonder who the hell that guy could be.
That smiling fella be.
Giggly.
Just a happy man. He's just happy to see Batman back. As well, not everybody is. Again, like this is we got it a lot in the cult. Like the point counterpoint that we see of like either people on the street or the news people. Basically, like Batman's back. Is he good? Is he bad? Like he's like to be fair, Batman does like work outside of police and like doesn't always care necessarily about people's rights, or he's very forward with the violence. So there's obviously points to be made against the Batman, but they do kind of leave it open for you to decide, even with the debates on the TV of is Batman a menace?
He is, and Frank Miller makes him even more of a menace than usual.
Yeah.
Bring me pictures of Batman. He's a menace. What do you think, man? Do you think Batman is justified in what he does? Does his no-kill policy make it okay? And if he didn't have that, and he'd be the Punisher.
He gets close. And
I think he kills some people in this book, dude.
there was one scene in particular where I thought he did, and I had to look it up, and I saw that there was like some debate online as to whether he did or didn't.
Which
in that
scene?
When he is saving a little girl.
The Believe Me
little-
scene?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I think he kills it. Yeah, it's not a
I don't
fake
think
gun.
He does, because then he does talk about like later, like he destroys guns later, and he when there's a robbery happening in the store, and he breaks
Calls
it
him
up.
a
Like,
coward's weapon all the time.
exactly, yeah. But he like peeks his head back, like he stops the robbery. It's under control. The store owner has like the robber kind of cornered. Batman's like out to go stop something else, and he kind of like peeks his head back in. He's like, if you try to kill that guy, like I'll be back for you. So he's obviously against killing.
Yes.
So in that scene, I don't think that he did. I think it was just the way in which the panel was, or the art was done. Like we could pull that up when we get to it. But
that scene is directly in Batman Superman.
yes, yeah. I'd seen that they had mentioned that like that he cited that as like his view of the darker Batman. But I don't think he killed that guy. But even if he did or didn't, the point being of like he's very torn by not killing the Joker, especially. He's like because one of the things that I kind of liked in this too is like he talks about the fact that he keeps track of literally every death caused by like the Joker and other psychopaths of Gotham. Like he has like a list of like names, or at least the amount of casualties by him, and he reminds himself of it. He sees like people dying at the hand of the Joker, and it sticks with him. So he especially near the end of it, he's like, just give me a reason to kill you, Joker.
Yeah, I like that this version of Batman has that seriousness to him.
Yeah.
Also, I totally just remembered this, that 2 weeks from today, you know what's supposed to come out? The Absolute Edition of The Dark Knight. The reprint.
We'll have to put a pin in this and come back in 2 weeks.
Do you know that it was actually supposed to come out on my birthday last year, and then it got canceled like a few months? I know.
DC, you and the...
But so you don't think he killed that dude? That's okay. I can totally see
I don't
that.
think he did, because and also people I saw in like part of the debate, people cited the fact that the new commissioner, I forget her name, I'm horrible with names, I apologize, but
Yindel, right?
yes, the new commissioner, when she's like reading off the rap list of reasons to arrest the Batman, murder's never on there. Like it's like assault, it's battery, like breaking and entering, like the whole rap sheet of stuff that Batman does do, admittedly, but murder and anything beyond just like assault was never really listed there. So I think that was part of it. Although people think that he killed somebody later. Almost. Nice try.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. But I don't think he actually did.
Okay. but it's a very violent Batman.
Yes, yeah.
That we can't. There's no debate on that.
That like scene right before.
Even this one right here, dog.
Yeah.
So one of the guys that were in the car chase scene, they worked for Two-Face because they were robbing someplace, presumably with Two-Face, or One-Face. He's just called Face now. He fixed his face. So Batman has Gordon let the guy go so that he can question him his own way, and so we get the guy going back to the apartment where he's supposed to meet up with Face, and like, of course, he's gone. And Batman pushes this guy through a window, and basically his negotiating tactic, the guy's like, you can't do this to me, I've got rights. And Batman's like, yeah, you do. Except right now you're bleeding from an artery and you're going to die, and I'm the only person that can get you to the hospital, so you tell me what I want to know or you're going to die.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, he doesn't kill people, but he certainly doesn't help them.
Yeah.
And then down here we get Carrie Kelly. We get a little window into her world where she's...
hers was kind of interesting. Just like,
her parents are junkies of some type and like hippies.
Hippie stoners that like don't really pay attention to her or even notice like later on like when she leaves.
Gone,
they're like, wait a minute, didn't we have a kid? Hey man.
And then we cut back to the ward here. Oh, well, we get him meeting up with Gordon, trying to figure out what's up with Harvey Dent. They still don't know. Cuts back to, it's Joker. I mean, why are we going to pussyfoot around it? It's Joker in this asylum, and now he's trying to work some way to get out because Batman's back. And like, basically, when Batman stopped being Batman, Joker had no reason to live because they
went into like a straight catatonic state.
Yes.
Whether it was intentional or not, like whether that was all like part of his like long con, he just kind of was no longer the Joker. But yeah, at the mention of Batman, he perks back up and gets back into his old ways of scheming. So.
And I remember too knowing that Batman was gonna have a gun in this book, and I was like, man, I don't dig that. Like, what's that gonna be about? Nah, they make it cool. Exactly. He just uses this gun as basically like a grappling hook.
Yeah.
To like make a tightrope to walk across. So basically, we find out that Two-Face got some bombs, and he's like holding the city hostage for, was it $2.2 million or just $2 million? Yeah, it's a bunch of twos.
I think he like pumped it up to 10, and he even mentions like I would have done 2, but times are tough.
Does he say that? Okay,
like that, yeah. But
it's like on Tuesday, and it's like the 2nd of the month, and all the whatever. Okay, so Batman's gonna go stop him. Badass Batman. There's a helicopter involved. Batman does his little grappling hook thing. And also, I love this, dude, with the chest piece. Dude.
Yeah, that was clever.
In the internal dialogue, they talk about, he says that the reason he has the piece on his chest is to give his opponent a target to shoot at, and it's like a bulletproof section. So, over the years, instead of people going for his face or something, they go for this target, and he's okay.
It works. Yeah, he says it's too heavy to put like armor in his helmet or armor up his head. So yeah, he just gives him a bright target to shoot because hey, it's armor plating behind there. So joke's on you, criminals.
Yeah, and he goes and he gets Harvey out of the helicopter basically, and the helicopter rides off. And even though he got the money, the helicopter blows up anyway. He was gonna kill himself. He just wanted to die. He's all messed up. And then there's this. Ooh, look at that, very Sin City-esque, man. And he has this little. Basically, he's so mentally scarred that he doesn't think he's fixed. He doesn't think that he's fine.
This is
he thinks he's disfigured. He thinks everybody's making fun of him.
Like we see a glimpse of. What he used to look like, and he feels like that's in his entire face now. That even though he got like the full surgery, he feels like that all it did was let like the dark side of him creep in and overtake the entirety of him. So,
and that ends.
Batman sees it.
That ends book 1.
Knows about that darkness.
And here we go. Very iconic image too as well. Batman. Oh, love that dude. But Dark Knight. So actually, some people don't know this. Even though it's often referred to as Dark Knight Returns, like parts 1 through 4, each book has its own title, and the first one is called The Dark Knight Returns. Second one is Dark Knight Triumphant, then the third one is Hunt for the Dark Knight, and then fourth one is The Dark Knight Falls. So they can be referred to either way. If somebody says Dark Knight 1 through 4, like, they're not wrong, but those are the names. So that was the end of Dark Knight Returns, and here we start Dark Knight Triumphant. Man, I remember when I used to not know what was up with this, and I hated this image. I can see why people don't like it. It's really weird.
I guess at a glance, yeah, like, but I don't know. At the same time, like, I'm a fan of big, beefy Batman because, like, it just makes, like, the combat, like, feel rougher or, like...
Oh, me too. I love it.
It makes you believe, you know, all the, like, acrobatics that he's doing, stuff like that. And also, like, I feel like, especially, like, this image, like, shows off, like, how just beat to hell he gets. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's definitely, like, yeah, Batman... the guy she tells you not to worry about versus you. I mean,
that's the guy she tells you not to worry about, right?
Yeah, exactly. Look at that guy. But yeah, like, no, I feel like that one is just very visually... it works for what we're seeing here of like the like strained Batman, like who's like
yes,
he's still able to do it, but like he is just like scraping by the skin of his teeth every time.
You know, I think that's what I was trying to say with the artwork earlier is that like if the story wasn't what it was, if the story wasn't so dark and gritty, the artwork probably would turn me off. Yeah. But it works with it, and oh. I love this book so much. I'm so happy with this. It's the best for me. I get it. It's not for some people. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, but again, like it's whether you like it or not, it's hard to deny like the impact that it had. Like, you know, because like if you were to start writing a Batman story on your own, like I feel like you would just subconsciously pull a lot from this because whether you're pulling it from this or not, like everybody who wrote beyond this is like subconsciously
referencing
too,
this.
So
yeah. Well, the other thing I think too is that like, you know, Frank Miller really did everything you could possibly do in a Batman story, and I didn't realize that till after I read this and reflected on it. But like, if you were like, if this never existed, and somebody was like, all right, you get to write the final Batman story, except here's some of the things that are going to happen. He's going to have to get a new Robin because Robin's dead. Yeah. We're going to have Two-Face in it as just the first villain. We're going to invent a whole new gang of villains where their leader is almost like he's actually physically superior to Batman. Yeah. So he has to outsmart him. Oh, also you get to use the Joker, and not only are you just going to get to use the Joker, you actually get to kill him off. You get to have the final well, the whole thing is spoilers. You get to have the final battle between Batman and Joker. Oh, and by the way, we haven't even gotten to Superman yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, before this, I don't think Batman and Superman ever fought in comics. I might be wrong. That's my own thought.
At least to this degree, if nothing else, yeah.
This is the story, man. That's like, you know, could you write it better? I don't think anybody else could write. Before this came out, you could not think of anything more epic than those pillars I just gave you.
Sprinkle in a little bit of Ronald Reagan for.
Yeah, I know. I love that. Oh, I have a great tidbit about the obvious. Oh my God, why can't I think of his name? Is it Johnny Carson? No, it's not.
Oh no, David Letterman. Yeah, how they don't use his name, it's David something or other. But, yeah,
but when we get to that, I have a great tidbit about that, about the animated movie.
Okay.
You'll love it. And anybody who knows anything about David Letterman will totally appreciate it. So, Dark Knight Triumphant basically opens with Gordon going to a... Is this when he's at the store?
He was running some sort of errand, I believe, and then he gets mugged.
But yeah, he's gonna get mugged by one of these mutants, and we see them both pull guns on each other, and then it cuts away, and we see Carrie Kelly getting dressed up as Robin for the first time. She bought a little Robin costume from the store, and she's like, "Batman's back. I'm gonna be Robin." Like that's basically it.
Batman, yeah, or his new Robin.
So we find out that Gordon ended up killing the teenager, but there's this weird little trope in here. Do you want to? I love it. We were talking about it before we went on screen.
Some weird bit of like basically like black humor of over the we hear the newscast in the other room, so we don't get to see it, but we hear you know, oh, I'm being handled like, you know, a news report right now, a bulletin. Jim Gordon has been shot. Oops, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Jim Gordon has shot and killed a 17-year-old, you know, mutant gang member. So
also Chicago gets a shout out in this panel here, and I like that.
Anytime it does.
Best pizza in the world.
So they said.
Where's Raidami to argue with me?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. Sleeping.
But yeah, I don't know. I do appreciate like the little bits of like weird like black humor in this because it's not like outright funny, but there's just like weird situations like that of just the quick little oops, I'm sorry, that he's not dead. He just killed somebody.
Yeah, there are a couple more in here, but it's just it's good shit, man. It's good humor, especially because without it, this whole thing would be very bleak. It's a very dark story. I love it. And then we get the mutant leader coming on, and he's basically threatening to kill the old man Gordon, and he's gonna take him out before he retires.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. You're gonna retire Jim Gordon, and it's there's so many epic things in this. So cuts to Batman on another mission. There's a hostage situation with a kid. Got some mutants holding them up. This how much they care. This how little they care about each other. One mutant blows the other mutant away just because he thought he heard Batman.
Exactly.
And then
Wasn't wrong. But...
no, and then boom. This is the scene me and Mike were talking about. So Batman busts through this wall. He has this gun. Batman has this gun in his hand.
Yeah.
And here's this female mutant with this little kid hostage. And the female mutant says, "Back off, man. I'll kill the kid. Believe me, man. I will. Believe me." And then Batman, with no hesitation, boom, shoots a shot, has the kid. I believe you.
If you want to maybe pull that
Yeah,
a little bit closer up there to the camera, just or sorry, if you, yeah, because down a little. Yeah, there we go. Because like you see them slumped in a way that's and like the bullet hole behind it, and it looks like obviously blood splatter behind it, as if like she got shot and like slumped down. But I don't know. I don't know.
But Batman rescues the kid, more or less. And then we got the talking heads, arguing back and forth. And this is the doctor who rehabbed Harvey, and now he's trying to get the Joker. Or Joker's going to try to play him. Anyways, get some Carrie Kelly. Love Carrie Kelly Robin. So innocent. And man, where did Batman get this hostage? Oh, this is... Wait, where did Batman get this hostage?
That's the hot, or isn't that the go for it?
No,
or no, that's not.
It's the first guy. It's the guy who tore the wall. Yeah.
Got, like,
so this guy he got the gun from.
Yeah.
He took him hostage. I love this is dark. I loved this the first time I read it. But Batman is talking smack to him basically, and he's like, the guy's like, yeah, let's negotiate something. And Batman's like, nah, you can't negotiate. Let me show you. And we find out that Batman had his hands over this dude's eyes, and he peels his hands away. That's what's happening here. And he's got dude hanging upside down over a roof. I love this. That is so dark, man.
I love that probably as much as Batman does, because like he talks about like how if nothing else, it was worth it to hear that dude scream when he first revealed that where he was being held upside down.
The scream alone is worth it.
Yeah, like Batman's definitely kind of messed up. Like how much he relishes like all of the, especially like now
I
he's
love
able
it,
to come
dude.
back and like because obviously he's been in hiding for 10 years basically, and now he gets to kind of dip back into it. So.
Oh yeah. So. We get some more Carrie Kelly running through the streets trying to be Robin. She's doing little things, purse snatchers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, a general gets killed.
Oh yeah, wait, I just cut.
To be fair, it is pretty sudden, but
wait, doesn't Batman go and? Oh.
This isn't the.
Is this the one that shoots himself in the head?
I think so. Yeah.
There's only one general that kills himself.
There was a senator who is on a ledge.
No, okay, no. In the animated movie, which I also watched this weekend because it was on Toonami, they fill in this scene here, and Batman goes and talks. Oh, because he sold this army general sold weapons to the mutants. That's what Batman got from the interrogation.
Yeah, like that 50 cal that Batman is using
to
maybe kill somebody. He talks about like why do they have like military grade weapons? Did they rob some armory? It turns out that this general was like basically taking in and selling the guns to them and
because his wife had cancer.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so he ends up just killing himself because Batman confronted him basically. Man, I want to get Carrie Kelly meeting Batman.
Yeah, to speed up then. Here we get the mutants. Also, the mutant leader again. Like I thought that there was some like supernatural going on, like just with the way that he looks.
Yeah, he's just a freakish, futuristic dude.
But they do mention it in like a quick like throw off line that like he filed down his teeth and that's why he looks like that. Like that's that is intentional. But like he just messed himself up some sweet body mods. But yeah, like this muscly guy. Like, man, because this is the part where like Batman, drives his sweet bat tank, basically, to confront them in the.
I love this line too.
In the dump that they're at. Yeah.
The Batmobile. That's what you called it, Dick. Kind of name a kid would come up with. He's always thinking about he's always thinking about Robin and
Very
stuff,
much so.
man. But all Robins go to heaven. Maybe just Jason Todd.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, Batman basically assaults the mutants with his tank,
On
shooting
their
rubber bullets.
Yeah, exactly. That's much like the in Batman the Cult when he has like the bat like monster truck. It does always feel like a weird kind of silly conceit of I'm shooting at them, but if it's rubber bullets, they'll be fine.
Yeah, it's loopholes, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So the mutant leader confronts Batman face to face, and he's like, "You're hiding in your tank. You got all these weapons. Why don't you come out and fight me like a
Call me
man?"
out, Batman.
You just call him out. So
And-
Batman's like, "All right." And Alfred's like, Bruce, that's a good idea. You're
Yeah.
pretty old. He's pretty young." And he's
Batman
like,
even
"Nah."
mentions like that he's got like the kind of like musculature that he like used to have or like wishes that he had, where it's like he's very lean, very quick, very powerful, and like he's like dreading for a hot moment to actually get out of his tank, but eventually he musters it and then faces him man to mutant.
Another great splash page. I feel like there's
There's
one
a lot of them. Yeah, exactly.
in
One-
each book, man. Or maybe a couple, but that's a great one, dude. So he gets out. I love the fight scenes, man.
Yeah,
And
it's visceral.
oh, there you go. His filed teeth like razors in my
Exactly, there it is.
trapezius. Also, Frank Miller does have good anatomy. Because I do study like anatomy. There's a few references in his writing.
Those are some good trapeziuses. Trapezii.
Yeah, traps.
Trapezoids.
Right shape. But oh man, your traps do make a triangle. Weird.
It all makes sense
It
now.
all makes sense, dude. They don't just call things for no reason. But we get the fight between him and the mutant leader, and it's a good one, man. And they're going back and forth. And the mutant leader really gives Batman a run for his money. He kicks the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And eventually, he gets saved. I love it. He's like begging. Dude. I was literally about to say he's begging for Dick.
Well,
But he is. Dude, okay, like, yes, Dick jokes are funny.
Yeah,
Robin's
I was
name
gonna
is
say, like,
Dick. I'm gonna keep calling him Dick. We're
That
gonna.
is dime a dozen. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is old hat, but yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. So, any further Dick loving
Yeah,
jokes?
let's get him out now.
Okay. So he's begging for Robin, and lo and behold, out of nowhere, his
comes
prayers
Robin.
are answered. Carrie Kelly, badass Robin, sneaks up on the mutant leader, basically does one of these. Batman throws this like mud thing in his eyes, and captures him. And that's it. But Batman got the crap kicked out of him.
Exactly. To the point of, if Carrie wasn't there, he might
Probably
have
would've
lost.
died.
Yeah.
Well, he would have died at the hands of the mutant leader.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Carrie Kelly then gets Batman back into the Batmobile, and Alfred's like, run along, little girl, like you don't belong here. And Batman's all like, no, Robin is staying with us. And I love that.
Quick one-page sidebar.
Yeah, and then for some reason it
The
comes,
White House. Yeah.
yeah, it comes back
Meanwhile,
into play. Yeah. Cuts to the White House, and there's a voice, probably the president, because there's an American flag, talking to
somebody.
with an looks like an S. And I love that Frank Miller makes Superman such a lapdog to the
Yeah,
U.S.
yeah.
government. He's like the U.S. government's bitch.
Yeah, like he.
And also to fill in something that like is, I remember the first time I read this, I did a deep dive to see if there's like more on this, and there's just not. It's implied that at some point superheroes were outlawed,
Yeah.
and Superman was like the U.S. government outlawed superheroes, kind of like Marvel Civil War, and Superman is like what would you call them?
I mean,
Like the call boy.
I was
Like
gonna
if
say-
somebody is trying to be a superhero, Superman will go and
Yeah.
mess them up.
I was gonna say, to equate it to a book that we'd read, like it's kind of similar to in The Watchmen, where
Yes.
vigilantes were outlawed, but like the workaround to that was comedian and Dr. Manhattan were basically became like agents of the U.S. So like it's
And
kinda
that's
like
what
that, where
Superman's doing,
Superman is,
yeah.
like he just kind of does like the wet work of different like military operations.
Yeah. So you see the president telling Superman like, your buddy's causing a ruckus over there in Gotham. Might want to take care of that. And he's like, yeah, I'll check on it, Mr. President. And so, cut back into the scene of Robin in the car with Batman, and Robin's like, yeah, or Batman's like, I'm gonna take Robin to the cave, and Alfred's like, what are you doing, sir? You're delusional. You got hit on the head too many times. And he's like, no, Robin's coming to the cave.
Also, real quick, what's up, Doc?
Hey, what
How's
is
it
up,
going,
Doc?
man? Oh, I didn't even intentionally mean to do that. But what is up, a doctor?
Did you read The Dark Knight Returns?
It's not D&D related, but have you read it, Doc?
It's the best Batman story ever.
Exactly.
So, get a little cut back to the Joker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's basically trying to negotiate with that same doctor that helped Harvey to be like, I'm renewed too. Let me go on TV and tell everybody like how great I am. Cuts back to the Batcave. Batman revealing to Carrie Kelly who he is, basically. But here to vibe. Sounds good, man.
You're in the right place, Doc.
We're chilling, dude.
You want to hear us talk about how much we love this book? You came to the right place.
And then this is where they talk about the... Yeah, okay, so they have the mutant leader in captivity because Batman captured him. Mm-hmm. And the mutants are basically like, free him or we're going to destroy everything. And the mayor of Gotham, who's kind of a bitch, is like, yeah, guys, we're going to negotiate with you, And that's happening in the background here. Yeah. So then we see, this emotional scene of Carrie Kelly walking up on Jason Todd's outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then what's going on over here? This guy.
Oh, yeah, we get to see like little vignettes of people kind of acting out in the city. Like this guy.
Yeah, there wasn't anything more to that. Yeah.
Set up like a porno theater because.
Or Frank Miller.
Yeah, exactly, because he had like heard people talking about the Batman on TV, and like he's an unstable person who they talk about like he has like clear like mental issues, but because of like all the rhetoric and propaganda they see on the TV, they cause him to do something that he thought was right, and create like a Batman killing, I think they called it.
Yeah, Batman-inspired Slain and Batman-inspired porn theater shootout.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hefty name. So yeah, then like you said, there's little...
Yeah, we get, it was a boxer who, been hit in the head too many times and like killed his manager, I think it was, or his agent, because, he wasn't really getting paid well or didn't get respect. But then he sees, a big beefy guy dressed up as a bat, starts getting a lot of respect, and tries to emulate him, but in the process gets shot, like trying to prevent some sort of robbery, I believe it was, and so he dies, and it's just showing all of the effects that Batman has on Gotham, and that does kind of come back later because the psychologist, doctor, I forget his name,
Marvin Monroe.
Thank you. He starts using this as fuel against Batman because he starts citing like, well, a lot of these deaths, a lot of these problems are basically, they go back to Batman, and like the blood is basically the blood is on his hands, right? Like he is.
Batman, there's no Joker,
exactly,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, he's causing all these problems. So like, why are we getting mad at people like the Joker when we should be getting mad at Batman, who was like the root of all this? So like that becomes like the crux of his argument against the Batman. So.
And then it cuts back to the mayor going into the mutant cell to negotiate, and
sure,
that fat-necked little bitch gets what's coming to him. He goes in there, and the mutant just slays him immediately. And you do get a little Gordon internal dialogue.
Dude, I love.
Did you
like angry Gordon? But yeah, like how he's like the sights that he saw in there, he'll take to his grave, and yeah, it's.
You know what I thought was funny in the animated movie is for some reason they don't do the cigarettes, and throughout it they swap it with nicotine gum, and like a few times he mentions how he's like trying to quit for the wife. But they show like it's very R-rated and like bloody, so I don't know why they stopped there.
Yeah, no smoking, kids.
Yeah.
Dr. TNT, no smoking.
Another big splash page, man. You get one every.
Touching moments of. Basically, Bruce kind of coming to terms with Carrie as Robin in some ways, like accepting her as being part of the Bat family, basically, and agreeing to basically take her up on training, but they have to do things on Bruce's terms.
You mess up one time, you're fired.
I like Eric Brewster as being fired, like it's like a job that she's being hired for, but yeah, so we get to see them kind of beginning to work together.
Yeah, and the plan that they formulate is Carrie's going to basically go undercover and go infiltrate the mutants and tell them that, hey, we have a big meeting you guys didn't know, and they're all supposed to meet at the same place. And what is going to happen is Gordon is going to let the mutant leader free, but he's only going to have one route to take out of jail, and it's going to lead him down this basically sewer drain and come out where the mutants are. So, Batman can fight him. That's basically the setup of this plan. So
very simple.
That's what's going on here. We kill him to Gordon. And then, oh man, he's talking smack to that guard, asking about his kids and stuff. It was very, you know what it reminded me of was the Joker scene in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, exactly.
Where he's captive and he's like, do you want to know which ones of your friends are cowards?
Exactly. Trying to goad the guard into
shoot him or something, yeah. And so, you know, Gordon steps in, like I said, lets him out of the cell, but there's only one way for him to go, ends up at the sewer, and then boom, he's knocked out by Batman. And this is where the internal dialogue really comes into play, because what Batman understood that physically he could not hold a candle to this dude, so he levels the playing field by getting him in mud so that they're both slow.
Yeah, so that he can't react as quickly because he's like basically being tied down by the mud. His visibility is lessened because of the mud.
Well, and then Batman slices him above the eye, so and he does that so that the blood drops get in his vision, so his vision's impaired.
Exactly.
And then my favorite one, where's the line? I don't know where the exact line is, but, oh, right there. I loved this. This is another anatomy thing. Okay, he charges blind. A quick one to the nerve cluster in his deltoid. It doesn't hurt him, but no force on earth can help him move his left arm now. So basically, and this is a martial arts technique, like, you hit a nerve and or a nerve bundle, and it'll, like, the arm will go dead.
So
and that's
like pressure points basically to like help incapacitate and like you said, like level the playing field.
Yeah.
And all this again he's doing in front of the entirety basically of the mutant gang. He had more or less created a plan where like Carrie would basically like create this like fake message that hey, like we're meeting at the dump more or less, right? Like, you know, like, there's a big meeting there, everybody be there in the gang. So the entire gang gets to watch their leader get beaten in front of them by Batman.
Not just beaten,
Bested,
operated on, because another one of my favorite lines, dude. Batman's beating the crap out of the mutant, and he's got him down, and he starts breaking his bones, and he doesn't stop. And there's this, he's talking to him, and he's like, "You don't get it, man." He's like, "You think this is a mud hole? Ha! This is an operating table, and I'm the surgeon." I love that, dude. And he just breaks his legs and arms in front of the gang, and they're just like,
damn,
okay.
Well,
and then it cuts to the talking heads, and the gang is now gone from mutants to we are the sons of Batman.
Exactly.
Well, they kind of broke off into a bunch of different little gangs after
we'll
that.
see that starting of book 3 especially, but
yeah. And then after this, it cuts back to Gordon, and his time is up as commissioner. That time frame is passed, and he is ready to retire. And we see that Ellen Yindel is the name of the commissioner taking his place.
Stops by the office, says hi, talks a little bit of shop.
Oh yeah, they have the talk about Batman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she's like, you know, the one, like, I respect you, Gordon, but the one thing we disagree on is Batman. He's a straight up vigilante. And Gordon tells this little story about is Truman, right? Is the president? Does he do that? Yeah, and it's Truman, and with the World War II thing where he knew Pearl Harbor was going to happen, but that's how they got into the war and won. And like, he's basically saying like, yeah, I probably don't agree with Batman either, but it's what needs to happen right now, and like, you should recognize that.
Basically, do the ends justify the means? Is allowing him to like work outside of the law basically?
Yeah.
Does it, in the long run, benefit the city?
Which is kind of the eternal question of Batman.
Yeah, like he is. Batman's problematic, my man, but he gets results? Question mark.
Makes things happen.
Exactly.
Oh, I love these Sin City-esque pages, man. Because this is a different trade paperback than the one I have. I have a very old one, so it doesn't have these. And here we have the cover to Dark Knight, The Hunt for the Dark Knight, book 3, which I don't know, man. I try to rank the covers, and they might just be in the order that they are.
I was gonna say, yeah, it does kind of descend. Last one's alright. I mean, it's got our boy Soups, but
yeah, you know, I like the idea behind it more than the actual product, but.
That's true.
Yeah, so we got the Bat Signal, Carrie Kelly Robin. Love Carrie Kelly Robin. You know, I did buy, for my birthday, I was able to get really nice copies of Dark Knight 2 and 4.
Nice.
Yes, I still got to get 1 and 3. And number 1 is a...
Well, I was going to say, that's the one to have.
Yeah. So, this scene really threw me through a loop the first time I read it.
Yeah, no, it's a wild, like, weird
It's
cold
wacky.
open, basically, because, like we mentioned at the end of book 2, the mutant gang had been splintered off. You know, there's we saw the Sons of the Batman, but here we see, I don't know if they ever give a name to it, but we see Bruno, who is basically a neo-Nazi lady,
Yeah.
like shortcut, like blonde hair, and most notably has topless and like big red swastikas. I don't know if it's painted or pasties or what, surgically implanted under her breasts, and later in a later scene also on the butt. It's a look.
It's wild.
It's a look for sure. Frank Miller knew how to make a memorable character because this is like their first appearance, and like they don't really use Bruno that much beyond this for many reasons. but yeah, so we see like this neo-Nazi lady is like running a new gang because we see her 2 henchmen who are dressed as like Gestapo brown shirts. Were 2 of the it was Rob and Dan, I believe it was. We glanced over it in book 2. I love the fact that they just have like their shirts that say like Rob and Dan. I was thinking like that's got to be like we just got to show up one of these days like
Mike and John shirts.
Talking like the mutants, yeah, wearing our Mike and Johnny shirts.
I would love that.
But yeah, so we see like they're sticking up this this convenience store because hey man, mutants gotta make
Gotta
money
drink
somehow,
too, man.
So.
Yeah, and it's broken up by. It's weird. It turns out to be an undercover Batman, but he's dressed as like an old lady. It was kind of a weird scene, to be honest, but whatever. Master of disguise, Batman. So
Got him again.
yeah. So he breaks it up. Carrie Kelly's there to help. We get a little battle with the Nazi. There she is with the swastikas on her ass cheeks, like you said.
I was very sure to pay special attention to Elvis. So.
Yeah, and then basically what's happening while they're having that fight in the sewer, we see things happening in the background of the city of Gotham. And remember that little page we got of the president telling Superman to go step in? Well, little things are happening in Gotham, and like, this guy gets saved from getting, hit by a train gets stopped, like what the hell happened? There's big like swooshes all around, and then Batman's about to really mess up this Nazi chick, and then out of nowhere, boom, he gets pummeled by Superman. And he basically says, stay out of this, we'll meet tomorrow and talk.
Yeah,
and that's that. And that's that. Is this the... No, it's not.
Good art. Good splash.
That's the cover of the gallery edition.
Hell yeah.
It's behind me on the table. Man. So, where's the thing I was looking for? Oh, cutting back to Joker here. He's good.
Explosions
This is
happening
what
in the city.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. But yeah, Yindel, the new commissioner, she just took over for Gordon. She's basically putting out a warrant for the arrest for Batman.
Like at her like
right off the bat.
Like, inauguration ceremony, like the stepping down, the retirement of Jim Gordon, and her stepping up, and her first act as commissioner is to put out an arrest warrant for the Batman. So there's some fireworks going off. Must have been a good time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's our David Letterman guy. So wait, in the animated movie, the character, it doesn't look like Letterman, but it's voiced by Conan O'Brien.
That's
I loved it.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's
because you couldn't get Letterman for it.
Yeah.
Is he dead? No, right?
No.
He's just really old.
No, yeah. No, he's got a beard now. He's fine.
That's what I thought. Yeah, it's the guy before him that died.
Like he stepped.
Oh,
down.
he's not
He
even
stepped
dead. Who's this super old one who had the other talk
Johnny
show?
Carson?
No, yeah, Johnny Carson's dead.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm like.
King? Not Larry King. Was the queue on that liquor store?
What's up, Charlie? Thanks for coming on by. Is that a queue on the liquor store window, John Backwards?
Where? Gordon. We going way
I
back?
was gonna say, yeah, going back to
We're going forward, buddy. And then here it's tomorrow, and we cut. By the way, Charlie! What up, dude? Where you been, dog? I've been missing you. I was asking about you.
Always.
Cut back to Superman and Bruce having this talk. I just make him
yeah,
such
exactly.
a cock. I hate him.
So majestic.
Yeah. So young, everyone else is old. But yeah, basically he's like, yo, Bruce, like, you gotta stop, man. Like, we can't be doing this stuff anymore. And Bruce is like, piss off. Like, that's the gist of it. That is true. Although,
Exactly.
very nice.
Well, we're here. I like that. Like, here's killing me. Let's see.
You going back for it?
Yeah, no, go ahead. I'll
I'll keep go for it. So yeah, he tells Superman to piss off, and then Superman gets sent basically over to Russia to stop like a nuclear war from happening because it's the 80s and there was like the whole Cold War stuff. So he gets sent over there by the president, by Reagan, to stop that after he's told to stay out of Gotham by Bruce Wayne. So good on him. Then it cuts to, we were talking about the Joker getting this little TV spot so he can, clear his name and make himself good again. And here he is doing his makeup for that. He's getting ready. And were you aware of these, the little boy and stuff?
It's weird. So like, I forget, his name begins with an A. It's not Albert. It's something similar to that. The dude, the Eggman looking dude that like his job is to make bombs for the Joker. He makes them as like these
little kids. It's weird.
Yeah, but they're dolls, but like they talk. Because that's how like Carrie almost gets lured into
right.
them.
Yeah.
Because it speaks like it's basically like a Chucky doll because it's like swearing too. But I didn't know what to make of it. Like they throw them out like straight out and they like fly. Yeah, dolls with attitude. Also, Charlie, I think the writing on the liquor store was right from the scenes that I quickly scanned. But yeah, I'm it got a little silly with the dolls. Especially like the scenes where like later on we'll see the dolls more, but like they're just like flying in helicopters, just like arms out. It's weird, man. But
yeah,
but
it's
they're
strange.
effective.
They work.
Depends on doesn't matter what you think about them. They work.
So while Joker's doing his little talk show thing, Batman starts getting hunted by the police. Yindel's on their on his ass pretty quick. So that's all happening congruently with one another. So there's Joker in front of this crowd of people. Seems really safe. Except it's not, because it's the Joker. So basically Joker lays a smooch on this chick over here. And, Joker smile, crack, kills her right away off the top. Pretty awesome. We got some more kid bombs coming around. Batman's still fighting the police. And Joker basically killed the entire crowd in the meantime.
Yeah,
who saw that coming?
Joker on a talk show.
Trying to clear his name.
Historically has never been wrong. So nothing bad has ever happened. Oh wait, also hold up. Him flying out of there if we can get a close up on the camera of him like floating out of the.
Oh yeah, on the bomb. It's weird. I can admit that. Even though I love this story, still give it a 10 out of 10.
But yeah, just like him, slowly hovering out of the the gas.
Crowd of dead people.
Yeah, exactly.
With those horrific smiles, pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then it cuts over to Superman in Russia doing his Superman thing,
Exactly. Yeah.
lifting tanks and such. That's a pretty cool shot. I can admit that. Little splash page. Then it cuts to an old and haggard Selina Kyle, who gets confronted by the Joker and basically, tells her to send a message to Bruce. Right? That's the gist of it? Okay. And then we have Batman on another undercover mission.
Senator killed himself.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about. But he was with one of the escorts, right?
Yeah, basically with the Joker poison, made him go crazy, and he, jumped off the building.
Yeah, and then Superman's in his disguise for that. I mean, Batman
yep.
cuts back to Superman doing that stuff.
Yeah, doing some military
That
stuff.
stuff really isn't important to the story. But then Batman. What's up? Oh, I thought you were laughing.
Oh no, sorry, no. I was laughing at the tied up as Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny, actually.
Joker's a funny guy now that I think about it.
He's pretty sick. Yeah, so Batman, finds Selina Kyle and unties her, and Joker basically said that he's going to be at this amusement park, and Batman should come find him. That's basically the gist of it. And you know, she's like, don't bring the girl, and he's like, nah, I got you. It's cool. It's Carrie Kelly. She'll be fine. So
She's 13. She'll be fine. What can go wrong?
yeah. So they jump on this weird bat thing. I love it. And they're going towards the amusement park. Superman's still fighting Russians.
Destroying Russian carriers.
And this is where stuff starts to get really dark again, man. So we pull up on this amusement park, and here's the Joker handing out free cotton candy to all these kids.
Could possibly go wrong.
And then there's a panel of Joker surrounded by a bunch of dead kids. Joker kills a bunch of children. Like I was saying earlier, pillars of this story, you get to write Joker, and he gets to kill a bunch of children.
Yeah, indiscriminately, yeah, just...
So this is when Batman rolls up on him, and basically Batman is like, F this. Look, I stopped myself because I already swore it. But he's like, that's it, Joker, like, this is ending tonight. He killed all these kids, he knows it. You know, what do you have to say about this?
No, I mean, yeah, like, it is kind of wild, just, like, as they're running through, like, the fun house and all the different amusement park rides, like, Joker's, like, wildly shooting people. But here, again, we get the mention of Batman, like, keeping track of literally every dead person in this amusement park and using it as motivation against the Joker, and we even get the Joker's monologue of, you know, like, I don't know how many people I've killed throughout, like, you know, my history with you, like, I've completely forgotten it, but you know every single one, and I love that about you, so.
And then this is iconic as hell. Batman really not effing around with Joker. There's no such thing as a free lunch.
Talking about the cotton candy. These kids found out the hard way.
It's true. Batman throws a batarang and it right in Joker's eye. And so for the rest of this story, Joker's got a batarang in his eye, and that's bad.
And that took Joker by surprise too, because he's like, oh, you know, he knows the dance. You know, even though it's been 10 years, he knows like what Batman's limits are. Like he can get away with killing people because
Batman's not gonna stop him, right? And then boom, batarang to the eye, and he's like, whoa!
Like, this time I'm not holding back anymore, man.
Yeah, and I mean, Batman's like, no, like I'm taking you down this time. So he's going through the Hall of Mirrors. He's messing with Batman. Batman again, really not messing around with him. A little back and forth. Here's your little bomb thing. Robin taking care of Egghead. More Joker Batman. That white suit, I'm okay with it. 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, somewhere around there.
I feel like at some point we need to get like when I was reading this, we need to get like a screen cap of this.
Oh, the watch your language?
It's very fitting for every time.
Every time I swear?
Yeah, exactly. That just pops up on screen. Watch your language, young man. Sorry, sir.
I know, this is awesome. We should get that. So, more Batman chasing down the Joker. Carrie Kelly. See, Carrie Kelly definitely kills Egghead.
Yeah.
That's undisputable.
Yeah.
I mean his bloody head is falling off right there.
Sure, like, knocked him off. But to be fair, like, she was like being choked to death by him, and like, you know, they're on a roller coaster.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not justified.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying that it happens.
That one, yeah, definitely.
So, this is where stuff gets crazy, man. So, Joker and Batman are fighting. Spoilers, and Batman basically paralyzes the Joker. And he's talking a bunch of crap to him, and Joker's sitting there paralyzed. And then he says basically like, here's one final joke for you, Batman. I'm going to kill myself right now, and no one's going to believe that you didn't do it, because they're going to find you with my dead body. And then with his last ounce of strength, this is so sick, Joker snaps his own neck and dies right next to Batman.
So good.
With a batarang in his eye. Frank Miller got to write the best Batman story ever, dude. Oh, not only can he fight Superman, only is there a new Robin, you get to kill Joker.
It's a good goof. You done did it, Joker.
Oh, that's got gray instead of white. Still cool. Still cool. And here we go, Dark Knight Falls, book 4. Here we go.
Batman doing with that weird trench knife and a gun. I hope we find out.
Oh, we will. Look at
I
Superman.
don't think he used that trench knife though.
I believe you are correct. Still
What
looks
a
cool.
tease, Mr. Miller.
You know, I'm wondering, did Klaus Janson only do the first book?
Oh, like would that explain some of
The inks and everything, and
possibly.
then Lynn Verily did the rest? I think that might be the case, actually. So, opens up with Batman in this sewer with Joker's body.
Turns out it was rigged with explosives like thermite.
Yeah, and before he walks away, he spits on Joker's face. Gotta love
That's
that.
pretty good, yeah.
So he's getting away from the cops. Carrie Kelly's getting away. They get a helicopter and escape as Batman does. Joker's body is fried. I mean, that's the gist of that. That's what's going on here.
Batman not doing too well after all that, getting like stabbed and shot.
Oh yeah, because Joker stabbed him.
Exactly. Yeah, he's back at the Bat Cave being operated on by
Alfred.
Yeah, with Carrie kind of watching on, like, is he gonna be okay? It's like, well, he'll live, but barely.
Yeah. We got some more talking heads. Sons of Batman, mutants, crime, blah blah blah. Getting a little too aggressive.
This rude dude, yeah, just like breaks up the Nixon's gang, which is pretty good, but stops a convenience store robbery by shooting
It's a cool panel.
everybody in the convenience store, well, the robbers at least, but yeah, just showing how Batman's impact on Gotham is probably not been for the best, but...
And they got 87 mutants held up in jail. We cut back to Superman,
We got
talking
Ronald Reagan,
more Ronald
worried
Reagan.
about nuclear fallout of a nuke that's coming in, but he's like, oh, we've got somebody here that'll save us.
Yeah, so there's a nuclear... Or wait, is it a nuclear bomb or is it a... Yeah, it is a nuclear warhead.
Well, we think it's a nuke. We find out it's...
That's right, that's how
slightly
that
different
goes.
Later, but,
Yeah, so there's this nuclear warhead coming from Russia. Superman descends to stop it. And he does his Superman thing. He stops it.
He diverts it like off course a little bit, so it'll basically explode over, an uninhabited desert instead of the islands that it was heading for. And yeah, it goes off with Superman right there.
But it's not just a bomb, because then we start hearing that all these electronics are going out, and basically, what would you call it? What was
Like
the...
an EMP, like electromagnetic.
Yes, I wanted to say hydrogen bomb, but that's
Yeah.
it's not that. Yes, it's like an electromagnetic pulse. So basically, all of Gotham is shut down. I mean, the rest of the U.S. is, but like Gotham is shut down. And so, Batman and Robin got to save the day, dog. Joker's dead. Batman and Robin got to save things. So the mutants start getting out, like going crazy in jail.
They literally fly a plane into a building.
Yeah, pretty crazy,
Yeah,
man.
They blow up all the cars in the streets. It's just complete anarchy. But we got Batman running around on a horse.
Yeah, and Batman comes in to save the day because there's no, all the electronics are down, and he gets the assistance from the Sons of Batman, the other gang that was, formed after the mutants got broken up, and he enlists them to help. He's like, you want to do some good? Like, we're going to save Gotham tonight.
Man, no guns. He breaks that gun over his knee, man.
That's right. This is the weapon of the enemy. We do not need it. If we will not use it. I messed that up.
It's okay. It happens.
So basically, it's gonna be mutants versus Sons of Batman, man, and that's what's happening. So like, you just got this crazy gang war happening, and then here's the end result of that like EMP nuclear bomb. I mean, it really messed Superman up, and because of the cloud it created, he can't get any yellow sun. And as we learned about from Flashpoint, I already knew it. I mean, but we found about it in whatever, you know what I'm saying.
Superman like sun.
Yeah, I need only reach the sun. And go figure, he gets shot by lightning. That's pretty bad. But yeah, he's all like deformed and stuff. And he gets to the sun, so he's fine. He's fine.
He does need that vitamin D. It's just wasting away out there, Charlie.
Yeah, and we got more craziness happening in the streets of Gotham.
It's okay, we've got
Horseman.
Batman. Yeah. Like, Gordon is looking for his wife. Like, he's going back to their apartment complex that's like on fire as part of all the fallout here. There's like riots and crowds, looting and everything going on, and Batman kind of rides into the city to help kind of restore some sort of order. So.
Yeah, and then and they do basically, but all the electronics are still out for over a week. But and then it cuts to some more talking head stuff. But we do get a little tidbit here of Green Arrow. Who, remember earlier I mentioned that like there was like a vigilante, like what would you call it? Like they
they put a ban on superheroes. Like they talk about how Hal, aka Green Lantern, went back to he went out to space. Diana, Wonder Woman, went back to Amazonia to basically live with her kind. And they broke up the band, and they were no longer able to be superheroes. But Batman couldn't let that be. He eventually had to resurface. And also, Green Arrow at some point got his arm ripped off by Superman.
That's what's implied. Yeah, this is one of the things also I did a deep dive into, and there's no other information on it. So yeah, it's implied. Superman, he wouldn't retire, so Superman ripped his arm off. So now he can't be Green Arrow anymore because he doesn't have an arm.
Yeah.
And Batman basically goes there to enlist his help because he's going to have to throw down with Superman is what it comes down to, because he's not going to stop being Batman. Superman has to stop him. Boom, boom, boom.
I mean, yeah, maybe get a prosthetic arm, Charlie, but
we'll see. But he has a couple surprises for Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go, man. One of the best fights in comic book history: Batman vs Superman. Frank Miller, Dark Knight Returns. Buckle up, Charlie. So I mean, basically, we get this badass back and forth fight between Batman and Superman. Batman's talking crap to him the whole time. Superman's kind of like, come on, man, like, what are you thinking here? Like, I'm going easy on you. I can really kill you in, like, one punch. And Batman's like, nah, not tonight, not tonight, not tonight.
Sweet armor suit.
Yeah, he's using his Batman armor, doing all this crazy stuff. And then his plan kind of comes into fruition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Somewhere nearby, Green Arrow knocks out... Who was that? Just some guard?
Yeah, like I think there's like some police or like military, like because they talk about how it's like in a state of like martial law, so like the National Guard is there. So yeah, like some police, military, etc. Hey man, gotta put him down at some point. That's basically the reason, right? Is that he knows that Bruce isn't gonna give up on this. He's like, come on, man, no more superheroes, please.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a fight to the death, man. That's what it is. So Green Arrow knocks out that cop, and then Bruce's plan is for Green Arrow to shoot a Green Arrow made of kryptonite, which Bruce had synthetically made, at Superman, kryptonite. Which Superman was meant to catch. He was not meant to get hit by the arrow, and he catches it, and poof, it explodes right in his face. And all of a sudden, his lungs are literally filled with kryptonite. And for the first time, I mean, ever, he is powerless.
Exactly.
He has nothing.
A little weak.
And Batman takes it to him hard. He starts kicking the shit out of Superman, and he's talking crap to him the whole time. And it ends on the sweetest line, man.
Exactly.
I want you to remember, Clark, in all the years to come, in your most private moments, I want you to remember my hand at your throat. I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
Yay.
Boom! Batman is dead. Wait, what? Wait, he just had Superman by the throat.
Why did he die? Heart attack.
His heart gave out, man.
Oh no.
Right before.
I like how they allude to that, like as they're fighting, like even weak Clark Kent, like he could hear the heartbeat kind of weakening. He's like, Bruce, your heart. He's like, if we both die, man, that's fine by me.
Yeah, and so
get this cleat in your face.
Turns out Bruce Wayne was Batman all along. People start finding out about his secret, and he is dead.
Yep, and story over.
Cuts to Bruce Wayne's funeral.
Where he's dead.
Superman is there with Commissioner Gordon, Selina Kyle, who's blaming him. This widower, some weird person in a. Superman's there mourning over his friend, and then he notices that mourner hasn't left. And then he notices that he can hear a heartbeat again. And then he realizes that Bruce Wayne didn't actually die. He faked his death. This was his way out. He
read Romeo and Juliet.
He beat Superman without killing him. And that's what that smack talk was about. I mean, he basically...
Making a point.
Yeah, he's like, you're Superman. And I can still beat you. I'm Batman. Man, Bruce's secrets, no doubt. And then it cuts to, you and I talked about this before.
Yeah.
If it would have ended right here, that would have been just fine. But they have this add-on page, kind of the epilogue, we'll call it, where, Bruce Wayne, who is alive, which I'm fine with that. I'm fine with him faking his death. If he actually died, I'd be cool with that. If he faked his death, I'd be cool with that. But he basically faked his death to train the next generation of Batman, which is going to be the sons of Batman and Robin. And so that's where it ends up.
Yeah.
That he's going to train them. So the very last page is a little meh. But man, the rest of that story gets me every time.
Every time.
Love it. Michael, what do you give it,
Jonathan,
man?
we talked about it at the beginning. I'll give it that,
Yeah.
that 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10? I'll take it, man. I give it a 10 out. I give it 11 out of 10. It's the only
There it
book
is.
that'll go off the scale for me, man. Superman. Yeah, man.
Until we get to Berserk Volume 5. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring a rain on this review.
Diamond, I hope you're watching,
Jeffy?
and I hope you're ready for tomorrow, cause I'm calling, and I'm not gonna be
I was
nice.
gonna say, yeah, that's.
Cause
Alright, Johnny, I got those Berserk books for.
oh no, you got him for everybody else. You don't got him for little old pastimes
To
though.
read. Dude, they added it. The Barnes Noble. Sweet. Alright,
Bro,
real quick.
yeah.
Amazing story. 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Read it. It's the Romeo and Juliet of our time. Book for next week, we'll probably get this out of the way real quick. Might be Sandman.
Yeah, I'm down on that.
We'll confirm that probably tomorrow. We'll probably do the volume 1 of Sandman, Preludes, Nocturne, something like that. Because we might have Royce on for the first, well, our second guest on the Comics Corner. But Royce might join us for talking about that because she is a huge fan of. Do I want to read Sandman or yeah, you got it.
Yeah, Charlie read
Oh,
Dark
why
Knight
would I
Returns.
Yeah, I was gonna say you read Dark Knight Returns, but Sandman's supposed to be great, says Royce. And if she's not, we're putting it to her live on camera. Royce, right? He wasn't made out of sand. That Q is not backwards. Charlie, what scene? Inside the liquor store? Don't need the book, Charlie. It's all up here. I'm reimagining that liquor store scene right now. So the first pages of book 2. Wait, book 2 or book 3? Because I thought you were talking about book 3 with because I was looking at the scene with Bruno. Tell me what book it is, Charlie. Book 2. You got that? You got that open, Johnny?
For it. Did you get it?
I did find it.
Oh, that scene.
Johnny, the Q might be backwards. Is this what QAnon is about?
Liquor store. Yeah, that cue's backwards for sure.
It's not a Q. Yeah, it's alright. You win this round, Charlie. Yeah, no, that's why I was so thrown off because when you joined, we were like right at the other liquor store robbery scene, so I didn't know which part we were talking about. I was talking about the Bruno one.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Klaus Janson only inks the first one. I'm not sure. We'll have to look that up.
But yeah, Sandman Volume 1, trade paperback 1, Prelude and Nocturnes will likely be the one. We'll confirm that tomorrow. But we can confirm Barnes & Noble has Volume 5 of
Berserk. We don't have it. We ordered it when?
Which time? We ordered it back in like May, and then in June, and then in August. Or no, sorry, July. And we have none to show for that, so one day. And I'm still waiting on Volume 3. All those bookends. They said those bookends were shipping, I think, end of August.
I also saw that.
In the mail any moment now, Charlie. To fit all 2 volumes that I have right now. They won't give me the other ones. Well, we still got days, Charlie. And then it's got to get here, and then it's got to get lost in the postal system because that's on fire. And then some surly mailman is gonna like throw it against the wall when he delivers it, and then I'm gonna have to like wait to get a new one. So we got that to look forward to at the end of September when it starts showing up. They didn't give an option, I don't think. I think it was just straightforward. Hey man, do you want it shipped to you or not? And I said yes, please. What are you checking on the stats of our books?
Well, it's saying that Klaus Janson inked. I was interested.
No, you're fine.
The first two. It's saying what is
No,
Charles?
no. I was just taking it all in. That key was backwards, huh, Charlie?
Charlie, you and your little
Charlie, unless he wasn't that. Wait, he could have been in a liquor store. Yeah, 'cause he was doing an errand. Damn it! I just had it. Why would I ever change off that? It says he passes a liquor store. Maybe he's like passing through it. Oh man. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. You know, maybe that's why. I pass the liquor store, run my eyes over the backwards queue, wonder if somebody was fired over that. Yeah, the way he's just staring right at it, he knows. He walks by it every day, and he has to notice it, and it tears him apart each time. Just like apparently Charlie was just wrought by this, had to come into the stream and tell us. Oh. Any other notes that you have on this one, Charlie? Now that we've got you here, our captive audience. Exactly, he just torn apart. He clutches his jacket tighter to make sure that. No, the queue's not backwards. It's totally fine. I'm on the inside of the liquor store. Nothing wrong here.
Lynn Verily did a lot of Carrie Kelly's dialogue and a lot of the slice and dice, chicken leg, licking legs things.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's good.
My name is Rob. My name is Don.
Rob and Don. Characters, underrated characters of the book. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, like I agree. Like Carrie does seem to be a good character. We don't get too much. We get to see some of her backstory with her like stoner hippie parents that don't really notice or care about her.
I was saying before you got on that Carrie Kelly's my favorite Robin. That's not Dick Grayson. Definitely not Jason Todd.
Yeah. Also, man, I was definitely shook when they do mention like that she's 13. Like when they talk about like it's not minor that's with Batman. Oh, it's a 13-year-old Carrie. I'm like, oh boy. Oh, Bruce.
At least not dressing her up in little green shorts.
Oh, wait a minute.
Interesting, Bruce. Anyways, I like Tim Drake in the cartoon. Yeah, he was cool in the cartoon. You're right.
Yeah, Dick Grayson is a man. I like how on our end, it blurred out Dick Grayson.
Did it really?
Yep. It's first warning, Charlie.
What So we're gonna read Sandman next week.
I probably. I mean, we could always hot audible it, but second warning, Charlie. But yeah, I'd expressed that to Royce that hey, what if we started reading Sandman? She's like, ooh, I like that, and I'm like, how would you feel about coming on? She's like, yeah, I'd work that out. I don't know if she'd be down with staying this late, so maybe we'll figure out a non-Wednesday day for that. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll be down.
In this case, we just get back to the X-Men train. I'm down for that.
Yeah, we'll figure something out with that.
I feel like that's totally fine. I'm getting back to that. How about this, Charlie? Any either storylines or one-offs? I know that you've mostly read a lot of like the main line.
Yeah.
Like
Wait.
X-Men stuff. Yeah,
I
know.
can't read.
I was gonna say there is a
certain,
cutoff.
Yeah.
There is a cutoff.
Well, we should do House of X, Powers of X, since you were intrigued by it.
Yeah,
That's what we should do.
We'll tease you with that.
We'll do that. But I gotta go back and read X-Men from the beginning, man. I've been waiting my whole life to do that. I'm doing that. I'm not cutting in on that early. But we can do House of X, Powers of X.
Or like I said, Charlie, if you had anything specific, because I feel like Charlie had read a lot of what you had read too, of like the early like Claremont and all that stuff. But if there's any storylines or something that we could find, we can dig it up and get to read. Yeah. And that's what this is, Charlie.
I like that.
We read it, we discuss which letters were backwards in House and Powers of X. Well,
VX.
Thank you for joining us. Oh, the whole series? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I would do that actually. I would, and then I can read the other Grand Design books as well.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say I know we can't push further into that until we've gotten you up to speed. So
Yeah.
we'll have to get you up to speed because I like the Grand Design. If nothing else, they had a Grand Design Fantastic Four also, which might
Oh
be
yeah,
out.
we should read that. I would love that.
Yeah, yeah. Because also we were talking about like one kind of
Yeah.
some of the hokiness of. I mean, Grand Design is just that's like
Yeah, we
like
can do another.
the what is it like the Spark Notes, No Fear Shakespeare stuff of
Spark Notes,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, for all those hip kids pre Wikipedia. So yeah, I mean, we could definitely read the actual issues and storylines that were part of that. It's not like, well, we learned about that in Grand Design that that's how the Juggernaut was born. It's because of red rubies. But yeah, so tentatively, Sandman. Follow that one up with House and Powers of X then.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
I think that's it. We talked about our gripes with Diamond per usual.
Yeah.
Gripes with Lunar. That's be next time. Oh, also, Alan got back to me. He's definitely down for. We'll set up. I think he said end of September, or sometime in September.
Oh, to go over the books?
We could what?
To like open the books with him, right? Yeah.
To show off the artwork stuff and all that. So if you want to see the big man himself on stream showing off sweet original art, along with Johnny's art books, and then I'll have to scrounge something off my own to show off to bring to class. Mike, what'd you bring to class? I don't know. It's
You'll find something good. Here's a
it's
pen.
a choose your own adventure book.
It'll be cool though, as long as there's original artwork in it.
I drew it myself.
It's original.
Yeah.
That'd be
It's Doctor Strange.
It certainly is strange, Michael. It certainly is.
I don't like this anymore. But yeah. That is Batman Dark Knight Returns classic. Onto Sandman next week. Another classic from what I hear. We'll find out ourselves. So it's always exactly. Sandman has come for Johnny, so before falls asleep on
funny.
stream. Thanks everybody for coming on out. We'll be talking more next week. We'll be back on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Doing our streams, our news. Man, it was fun going over that previews.
The previews. Can't wait for the next one.
More previews, yeah.
See you in a month.
See you in a month. Yeah, no more streams for a month. No, but we'll be back on Tuesday to show off new comics that come out, new gripes that we have, as always. And then the following Wednesday we'll be talking about Sandman Volume 1, Preludes and Nocturnes. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. And remember, not all heroes wear capes.